Good morning, Jenny.
Morning, how are you?
How are you doing?
Not too bad.
Good. You have a good morning?
Yeah, I've been busy cooking and running around, but not too bad.
I know, hey.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's good to see you again.
good to
I
see you
can't
too.
believe, yeah, I can't believe it's been a week already since we were there together. And
I know.
yeah, I know the days have just gone by. So, Jenny, I wanted to talk a little because June is stated to be a month of brain injury month. It's been dedicated to that. And of course, I mean, by grace of God, thankfully, none of us have had to go through the trauma of brain injury and as such. But, and my heart really goes out to people that have gone through that and their life is never the same, right?
Yeah,
But on the other side, there's certain like instances we go through in life that can lead to mental stress, mental trauma. My biggest one is when I was pregnant with you. Like I've talked about this, and I get so emotional every time your birthday comes along because we were in Kenya and I got malaria, which became cerebral malaria, and the doctors were trying so hard to save you. So every time your birthday comes along, no matter how many years have gone by, the flashback just comes back, and I get so emotional with that. And back in those days we didn't have like we had a great team of doctors. They were like a missionary hospital, and Dr. Graber was there. David is named after him. His middle name is Graber, and they helped me along. But we were in such a remote place. There was not really a place where you can go and talk about your emotion, the things that you were going through. And it's there's so much out there right now, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. There's lots of ways that you can, approach the subject. We have access through work or school. We have all those facilities available to us, but also social interaction with other people. It's not, it's become more of a norm of having to speak about your experience as well. Back in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't something you could really speak about openly. So it certainly helped, especially understanding when other people have gone through essentially the same thing, just in a different way, and how they dealt with it. So it's um, it's become more socially acceptable to speak about these things.
Yeah, and you're so right. Like back in those days, if I say I've got a little bit of mental issue, like, oh, my brain is thinking in this way, it was all taken like negatively, and then
Right.
there's something wrong with you, and you're
Yeah.
not even socially accepted sometimes,
Yeah.
right? And that is such a downer. But now I'm so glad, like, the kids can talk about it openly in schools to their friends. There's counselors available in the schools where they
Yeah.
can approach. That is such a great thing that to have. And yeah. So what
Yeah.
else? Yeah.
And it's pretty exciting that we live in a country where, like I said, those facilities are available to us because, we are one of the lucky ones, of course, and we do
Mhm.
have a very good healthcare system. But there's other ways, of course, to mitigate some of those issues. And I really realized this over our trip the last week when we went to Victoria. And, just little things like having other people you could speak to and just having to socialize with someone, or having big windows and actually being outside and having the sunshine. It's little things like that that really make a big difference.
Karen McKenzie, she is here. She is in Victoria, beautiful, beautiful Victoria. I
Yeah.
miss seeing you, Karen. And so this is my daughter Janet, and we're
Hi,
talking
Karen.
about yeah, and we're talking about June being the month of brain injury, and we're just like, although we've not uh, you know gone through that, thankfully, we're just trying to see how we can help each other, and what are the different ways, like even like during the pandemic. Can you
Yeah.
imagine the people that lost their loved ones, hey, and they couldn't even say the final goodbyes? Don't you think those things, those instances would create some sort of a mental, you can say, sort of a
Disturbance.
different, yeah,
Yeah.
don't you
No,
think?
absolutely. I had a good friend of mine that actually, her dad passed away during the pandemic, and she wasn't even able to say goodbye. He was in a different country altogether. And it does take a big emotional turmoil.
Yeah.
Thankfully, she does have the support of her family and other friends as well, but
Yeah.
it's still not the same. And yes, COVID-19 unfortunately has not been our greatest friend, but I think it has taught us to take a break from life and not stress ourselves out.
Yeah.
Take care of those important things that you really want. One of them being family. Like, I think personally for myself, I realized how important it is to have family around you, because you take it for granted until you can't go and visit them. And then you
That's it.
realize, oh, you know what? I actually do miss my family, and
Yeah.
I do miss seeing people, or I do miss going outside and breathing the fresh air, and just little things that you really do take for granted. So, as COVID may have not been the greatest thing, but I think it's definitely showed us a lot of good things we already have in our lives as well.
That is true. And even during the pandemic, during the lockdown, you've had to work from home
Yeah,
for more than a year now, right?
yeah, a
Since
year.
March last, yeah. And that is really difficult because you really don't get to interact with people. You don't
No,
get to step away from that environment. You're in the four walls,
yeah,
and that is so difficult. That takes a toll,
it does.
and yeah, because once you're finished doing work in the same environment, you start cooking, prepping meals and whatnot, and and you don't get to see anybody physically, and
Yeah,
which is like so difficult. It must have been hard for parents too, especially with the little ones, trying
yeah.
to balance all of that in life. And yeah, that is really, really difficult. And Edna is here as well. Thank you, Edna, for being here. So, how else can we help ourselves? I know for myself, when I'm like upset about something, it could be like anything. It doesn't have to be a brain injury as such. It could be like a tough relationship that you're going through, or just a work environment, maybe work stress. And my tendency, I reach out for junk food.
I think that's everyone's tendency. It's the comfort foods, but one of the good things is I joined a program called Nine Rounds, and it's kind of like a kickboxing thing. And I didn't realize how much stress I was holding within myself until I started hitting something, and you
Just
realize
let it go. Just let it go.
exactly. And I think you just have to find the little things that let you go, whether it's going out, going fishing, going hiking, just going for a walk with a friend, maybe even a coffee. And we're glad that we can do this where we can interact over webcam. But
Yes.
um,
Yeah.
you know, definitely if you have the chance to exercise or eat healthy, and even if you want to eat junk food, there's some really good recipes out there to prevent you from eating junk food. And
And
yeah, but
not feel guilty.
I I am guilty of doing that too. Yeah,
I think sometimes it's okay to do it once in a while, but if it becomes
yes,
a pattern, then it's there's a problem there.
yeah.
Yeah. So you
And
think eating can help? Eating right?
yeah, I would say eating right and even exercising. Even they recommend like 20 minutes going out and enjoying that sunshine. You don't realize how important the vitamin D or just getting some of the sunlight is for you, just for your mental state. And
Hmm.
like you said, I work in a basement apartment. I live there. I eat there. I can't dissociate from anything from work and home. So
Hmm.
getting to be outside is definitely just just a
Yeah.
few minutes a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a huge stress reliever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just the weather's turning out nice. It's finally warming up in Calgary. This today is supposed to be. I know it's been so cold, especially
Yeah.
coming back from Victoria. Oh my God, got spoiled in a week there, and
Yeah.
it's just so beautiful. The trees are blooming. No flowers yet, but there's a park across, and I can hear the kids playing there. It just like it warms your heart.
Yeah.
Just to be out there, to be able to see your neighbors. You're not cooped up at home in the winter kind of
Exactly. Yeah.
scenario. So there's so much to be grateful for. Hey,
Yeah.
yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. So thank you, and Karen and Edna, if you have any points for us, we picked a topic that we were really not gonna. Jenny has more medical knowledge than I do, but I was just talking from experience that the trauma, like when you were born, and that is stuck in my head, and I don't think I'll ever get over that. And but it's just beautiful to see how you've grown into such a beautiful, intelligent, smart, beautiful person. And
Thank
I'm
you.
grateful to God for that and for all my children. So thank you, Karen and Edna, and whoever is watching. thank you for being here. And if you have any pointers, any more advices, for us, and um, Karen is saying that she's sitting in the parking lot at the gym, going in soon. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Karen. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us. Enjoy your workout. And yeah, guys, so if you have any pointers for us, any more advice for us, do let us know. And we'd love to touch base with you and interact and get to know each other more. So, Jenny, thank you so much once again for joining me. You
Thank
have a
you.
wonderful Sunday.
Yes, you
Okay.
too.
All right. Take care. Okay. Bye bye.